Yes, they are.
It's interesting when they say, well, me and her been friends for 5 years, 10 years. I have a friend that's here that I have known since the third grade.
Yeah.
Abby, come on up. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. You always love
Bermuda
me.
in the house.
And
The rock.
we don't talk all the time, but when we do, we don't skip a beat. And I love you for that. We met at Bermuda Institute in Bermuda. And God has brought us to Georgia together. Isn't that something? Good grief, y'all.
Good
right?
grief.
How does that happen? Thank you.
I love you, Abby.
Robbie, give a gift to somebody from me.
And not me, Robbie.
He gonna give all the gifts to Auntie Kimmy, right? Quick, baby, because we gotta wrap it up in a minute. We keep an eye on the time. Should I just go ahead? Well, he's in the same house. We're gonna share her lotion. You know what? Let me give the last two gifts to my two performers tonight. And one of them is kind of girly, so he can give it to his missus if that's okay. I'm just giving away your gift, right? Come on up, y'all. Thank you for coming out, for gracing us with your talent today. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. But thank you to everybody. I mean, everybody, like I said before, I couldn't do this without you, and y'all could have been anywhere tonight. Thank you for spending it with me tonight. Thank you for celebrating me tonight. I was sharing with Angela that left, it's nothing but God's grace that I stand before you and have had multiple businesses, and I'm an author, and I don't have credentials that society says that I should have owned a boutique or owned Amazing Business Concepts or owned any of the businesses that I have, or a Senate resolution recipient with my sister, or a co-founder of a nonprofit organization, or have written and published it, and I'm sharing with you all my first book today. Like, I don't have a degree. I don't have any credentials that society says that she should do that, or she is capable of that. But guess what? Let me tell y'all about the God I serve. And he knows, and he will show up and show out in the midst of anything. Like, I wrote my book in jury duty in 1 week.
Wow.
That's nothing but God. I'm not an English major. I'm not, none of that stuff that, like I said, that people would expect for you to be able to do certain things. But God. And, I wrote it, and I had stopped. I had a few things that needed to be finished, and I stopped. And let me tell y'all how God shows up and shows out real quick. And we're going to close it out, because I'll be preaching, y'all. I think I'm a preacher, too, or I don't know, but I had stopped. And I'm in a Facebook group with about 6,000 women, and one of the founders had got a gift, and she said, well, let me pay it forward. So it just started a pay it forward chain, and I got caught in it. A lady from the other side of the country in Texas that I've never met before, never talked to or exchanged words with, inboxed me and said, hey, can I give you a cover to a book?
Wow.
Had no idea that I would write a book, y'all. And I almost told her no because I wasn't finished, but God, he said, no, you're going to take it, and that means you have to finish it if you take that gift from her.
Okay.
So I took it, and I told her the situation, and I finished my book, y'all. But that was my motivation, because God had knew that you done wrote this book, you came this far, not to stop. I didn't have a title, so I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to tell her to put on the cover? You know what I mean? That night, I was driving on the other side of town. I drove across this company. It was like a big old, it was huge. I don't even know what kind of company it was. It was called Grief. I said, good grief! And that's the story. That was my title of my book. Like right there, all in one day. I got the cover, I finished my book, I titled it, and I just had to put it out and get it printed.
Wow.
And edited. Wow. Found another girl. Typically to edit a book is $500 or more.
Or more.
I found a young lady that had 2 degrees in English, edited my book for little or nothing, turned it around in 4 weeks, and the book you see today. Here we are, little old Chivonne Fleming from Jonesboro, Georgia, is all for y'all. And again, I'm just so grateful. Let me be what you see to know that God works and shows up and shows out. I mean, I can go on and on all day. Like I told you from burying my mother. When I told you that's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I keep pushing through. It's not me. People ask me all the time, how do you do it? It's not me. I can't take credit for any of it. It's nothing but God. For me to, in 2015, bury my mother and watch her battle colon rectal cancer for 8 years. When I tell y'all there's nothing to play with, she had breast cancer in 99. That was a piece of cake compared to in the grand scheme. But that colon rectal cancer, she had her entire rectum removed. When I tell you she had to take painkiller after painkiller to have a seat,
And never complain.
it was something I've never seen before. She had an ostomy bag, she had surgery after surgery after surgery. And when I tell y'all, that woman never complained. I never heard her say anything negative. Never complained. When I tell you she pushed through in the midst of it all, when she couldn't move, when she couldn't feed herself, when she was in hospice on her deathbed calling to see how I'm doing. I don't know how anybody could say they don't believe in God. Because I see him working every day. Because that's nothing but his grace. That's nothing but God that does things like that. That wasn't her. That was God through her. 2015, she passed away. Like I told y'all earlier, 2016, a lady ran a red light. It literally almost killed me. My car was smoking. They had to pry me out of my vehicle. They rushed me to the hospital. I couldn't move. I laid in the bed while that lady Trenda came and sang to me and prayed for me. I was getting bed sores. I could not move. And I'm standing and walking and playing and talking before y'all today with the metal plate in my hip. But guess what? I have no pain. You know how people say, well, if you have any kind of surgery like that, when it gets cold, you're going to be aching, you're going to be this. I ain't seen a cold day. Not in that regard. I feel no pain. And it's not, I got a scar across my backside, and that's really about it. I can live with that. That's all right. It took me a year of physical therapy to get back walking again. A year. And it's so interesting how God works through you. I would go into that physical therapy office when I first started, barely able to move. And they was telling me how I was a joy to them. They were like, how are you so sweet? And so, I mean, look at you. And I'm looking like I thought I was cute, you know, like, what?
Lord have mercy.
But, you know, I walked in there with this little ponytail, or not hopped in there with this little ponytail and barely able to put my clothes on. And my last day I walked in there, I was so cute. They was like, where you going? Because I was fine by then. Almost a year later, back, Chivonne Noel was back, y'all. They was like, where you going? I'm like, where you going? But that was God. His grace and his mercy. I mean, y'all gonna hear me say that all night because that's truly what it was. His grace. When the doctors say they can't, there you go. Amen. Because, I mean, I literally went to a hospital, a major hospital, Piedmont, and they told me they couldn't do nothing for me. See, they didn't know the God I serve. They didn't know. My hip, you know how you have your hip in the socket? The whole socket was completely broken and fractured. So my hip was out here. And they didn't know how to get it back.
They tried.
They did try, you're right. They put me to sleep and tried, and yet nothing happened. But Grady, they say so much about Grady, but I'm a living testimony. I'm walking through Grady.
Me too.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Because God knew I wasn't done. He wasn't done with me. And I used to share with my mother all the time. When she was on her sick bed, I said, Mom, when you make it through this, we're going to go on tour. You can tell the world your story. But she wasn't able to make it. So guess what? It's my due diligence to carry that torch.
Yeah.
So I may not go across the world, but hopefully this book will. See, I put it in the mail and I sent it to Tyler Perry. I sent it to Oprah. I sent it to quite a few people that may be out of my reach, but hopefully they'll read it one day. But God, right? Because we got a story to tell. I promised my mom, it's so interesting. It's just the way God works, y'all. The way he works. When I tell you, it's like, okay, well, I have to carry this torch and share this story. speaking engagements started falling in my lap. People were paying me to come and be their keynote speaker. Little old Chivonne from Jonesboro, Georgia, with now credential. Now, y'all heard that? Not no degree, no nothing. Nobody said I should be anybody's keynote speaker. But I spoke on platforms from 5 to 10 people to the student body of Clark Atlanta University.
That's right.
They stood in line to see me speak and stayed after to take pictures with me.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? That's God. God uses me to tell this story. The good that I've been through, the grief that I've been through, all of it. It was for a purpose. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming tonight. Thank y'all. We gotta cut this cake real quick, y'all. I forgot about the cake. Don't let me take this cake home. So we're gonna cut this cake. Make sure you hit all these vendors again before we leave. We got I Am She, say